Hey everybody, it's your man James, Mr. Coin Treasure, back again with some more video action for you. This is another past live stream carve out video for you guys. Thought this was a little different because it's kind of getting on a topic a little current rather than something from the past. This is a kind of something that's being played up right now. We see all these articles about how the media is attacking the fan bases of franchises and properties and like video games and movies, blaming them for their failures of things like The Acolyte, Rings of Power, Dustborn, Concord, all these things that have failed in recent months. And rather than put any of the blame on the industry who is producing this stuff, they blame the fan base and the consumers. And this is a cutout I did from a few years ago where I talked about some of that. And at the time, they were attacking fans because of things they were getting that they wanted rather than things that are failing because they don't support them. And you can just kind of see from here that for a long time now, the media has hated basically the very fan base that they are supposed to service. So this is something that's been a long-standing problem, something that's been going on for a while. I thought it was kind of interesting to kind of reflect on that, and again, considering what is currently happening. So I thought you guys might find this very interesting. So I hope you'll enjoy checking it out. And before I go, I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope you have a good one. Make sure to hit the like button if you like what you hear here, and if you got any comments yourself about this, please drop them down below. I want to hear what you got to say. And of course, as always, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out any of the content that is being produced around here. And if you have subscribed, share out some links and bring some new people into the fold, because we always appreciate that. But I will leave that there and say thank you once again for joining me. I hope you get something of value out of this. If not, maybe at least a couple laughs, if nothing else. And I'll be back more with some stuff soon. And until next time, take care.
Why releasing the Justice League Snyder Cut sets a dangerous precedent by Soy Boy Extreme here, Drew Taylor. And, we're just going to go through this right here. Well, it happened. Zack Snyder's cut of his failed superhero team-up movie Justice League will see release on Warner Media's direct-to-consumer streaming platform HBO Max sometime in 2021. Members of the movement who have been hectoring Warner Brothers to release this version of the movie see it as a giant win. Everyone else should be worried about what this means for the rest of cinema. You see that already the projection, because consumers got something they wanted, something they were, again, because they demanded it. And these influencers like your soy boy Drew Taylor here, were the ones who thought, no, we get to make those decisions. And because they were cut around and cut out and told, we don't care what you think, we're going to make this and give it to these people who have been saying they want to give us their money. Now this is somehow dangerous. This is somehow, we need to be worried for cinema. Never mind that, cinema has always been about giving the consumers what they want. That's why movies succeed. That's why movies fail. It's ridiculous, that they have to go there. But then this is what they do. See, this is the whole point of what they do. Fans imagined that the rough cut of Justice League that Snyder submitted to the studio was better than the one that was released in theaters in November of 2017. They shared the hashtag on Twitter, bought billboards in California and New York, flew planes with a giant sign that read, "Release the Snyder Cut," trailing behind it. They even got corporations like Subway to contribute to the cause. Worst of all, they cloaked their activities, which grew into something of a public nuisance, under the shadow of charity. They regularly contributed to suicide prevention foundations, which on the outset seems noble, but really was a way of concealing what they were actually doing, bullying everyone. You see right here, this right here, this one paragraph is so laden with this person's sense of entitlement, their privilege, their disdain for the very people that they're supposed to be working for. You remember, these are people who are supposed to give you the information, to give you the stuff that you want to know about, so that you can decide, do I want to see this movie? Do I not? Do I want to go get this product or not? That's what these people are here for. And here this guy is showing utter disdain for the very people that keep him employed, calling them bullies for demanding something that they all wanted. That could be made and could be given to them by the company, and any business knows when you have customers who want something, you do all you can to fulfill it if you think there's a way you can make a profit. And because they gave in, and see, he took all the things they did. I mean, these people went so far out, you know, billboards and planes with signs and, you know, all this stuff. But then to denigrate the giving of charity as merely a tactic of bullying. You know, I mean, like I said, you know, as I told you, Schneider's daughter committed suicide. And so to show both concern towards him and to maybe, of course, to ingratiate themselves a bit, to say, hey, look, we understand, you know, that this is why your vision was interrupted. This is what happened. We're going to do these positive things to show you we care about you, show you care about us, and give us the full Schneider cut. That's what we want. That's what they did. That's not bullying. I mean, you know, this is how good things happen in the world. You know, somebody wants something, so then they go and do something good to help maybe someone else to get that something. That's a positive benefit to all sides. I mean, the company's going to make money from the Schneider cut. Schneider gets to see his complete vision out there, and because of the people who demanded it wanting to show some grace and gratitude towards Schneider himself, they've donated to charities that will help prevent others from suffering what he had to suffer. This is all good all around, except in the mind of an ideologue who thinks that they are the ones who should be able to decide what people get and what people don't. And they frame it in the way that they think will make everyone see this as a negative, when actually it's all of this. Everything they listed was all positive. There was no shadowiness to it. There was no, you know, cloaked activities. This was all above board, and this was all good stuff. But that's how guys like this will do this. You know, the fact that Warner Brothers has not only acknowledged this incredibly obnoxious fan uproar, but also agreed to it per their demands, #release the Schneider cut, is mystifying and potentially dangerous. The message is clear. If you bitch and moan enough, chances are that the studio might not only hear you, but agree with you. The fan uproar, which was at the very least very annoying and at the very worst actively threatening, has been vindicated. Their methods have been approved. Everything that they did had a purpose, because Warner Brothers has finally given them what they want. And see, here it is, this right here, this paragraph, this is the crux of it. You know, he does not believe that consumers should have a voice. He does not believe that those who pay for these things, who are willing to pay for these things, should have what they want. He thinks that only the elite, of which I'm sure he considers himself, should have that choice. And us peons, us plebs, us proles, we just need to shut up, know our place, and accept whatever gruel and slop they throw before us. And the fact that that didn't happen here, you know, he's talking about it's very potentially dangerous. The only danger is to people like Drew Taylor, who think that they are above everybody else. I'm part of the elite. I'm one of the influencers. I'm one of the people who gets to decide this stuff. I'm the one that does that. You all just sit down and shut up. That's his mentality. That is the mentality of him and every other guy and gal and every other person in this who does this. And then we're just going to cut through this a little bit because it's just more of his whining. He goes, for as long as the movement has raged, Warner Brothers has done the right thing and simply ignored them. See, there it is, right there, folks. See, the elites. The elites should ignore the proles. The elites should ignore the peons. The elites should ignore the peasants. Let them eat cake. The internet already gave them a voice when they shouldn't have had one. Yesterday, the studio gave them something they never expected but always craved, legitimacy. And now we're screwed. Fans displeased by perceived slights will now be insufferable. Not only will they demand alternate versions of movies more often, but their rhetoric will infect the release of this and any other DC property. If Warner Brothers thought that this would quiet them down, it won't. If anything, it will amplify their voices. The entitlement is already unbearable. Yes, Drew, the entitlement is unbearable. Your entitlement, asshole. You and every cultural influencer and shill like you. You know, I'm sorry you sucked so much dick to try to get to where you are, you know, taking it in the ass and whatever else you had to do to get the access that you have. But guess what? That's not the way the world works anymore, son. Now the people, we the people, the plebs, we have a voice. And no, it's not we don't deserve, we do deserve that voice. That is our voice. And like all elites, you want to take it from us because you think you're better than us, and you're not. No, son, the entitlement is completely on your side. You are the one who is unbearable. You are the one who is insufferable. You are the one who has been craving legitimacy by getting to where you are, thinking this is how it is, but it isn't. Legitimacy is not done simply because you shill for somebody the right way. Legitimacy is gotten through hard work, through, you know, convictions, through, you know, keeping on in the perseverance in the face of overwhelming odds. That's what gives you legitimacy. Not, oh, well, I've greased all the right palms and I sucked all the right dicks, and so I should be able to get all the access, and people should have to listen to me and they can just shut up and listen to what I have to say. That's not the way it works, son. Not anymore. Not now, and it's never going to work that way again. See, that's the real story here. Not what the people want, but what these entitled asshole shills want. You know, they're the ones in fear. You know, the corporations, they're not in fear. They're like, hey, you want to give us your money for something, tell us what you want, we'll take your money. That's what they do. You know, the actors, they don't care. Hey, if people want to see me in a movie, shoot, let them do it. That just raises my profile more. The only people who are worried are the cultural influencers like Drew here, who see the writing on the wall that their days of you know, unfettered access and control are coming to an end, and it scares the living hell out of them because this is what they truly craved. They never got into this because, well, I want to, you know, inform the public, or I want to, you know, support good products over bad. It was always about control and, you know, being seen as better than. That's what these guys are all about. That's what they're always about. Is releasing the Snyder Cut of Justice League a victory for toxic fandoms? HBO Max is using the promise of Zack Snyder's vision to build buzz. There may be a hidden cost, by Joanna Robinson. See, now here again, a toxic fandom. See, this is what they do. You know, you saw entitled, you saw insufferable. Now it's toxic. You know, we don't, you know, I'm not going to have to go through this one as much because we covered a lot of the backstory of this in Drew's piece, but let's see. But there was one point in this one that really, I think, spun home to me. Here we are right here. The Snyder Cut, if you've been fortunate enough to dodge this particular geek controversy, is the name fans gave a cut of the Justice League they believed existed. When Snyder left his work on Justice League in May of 2017, in the wake of his daughter's death, Warner Brothers handed the film to Marvel alum Joss Whedon to complete. The resulting film, an unwild Snyder Whedon hybrid, satisfied neither critics nor followers, and some diehard fans became convinced that if Snyder had been able to complete the film on his own terms, they would have gotten a much more satisfactory team-up movie with some of DC Comics' most famous superheroes. The hashtag Release the Snyder Cut was born. Plenty of earnest pleas came with it, but also vitriol that was extreme even for Twitter, including harassment campaigns targeted at critics, HBO Max, Warner Brothers, and its employees. Former DC film chief Jeff Johns left the platform entirely after receiving endless Twitter attacks, and director James Gunn, who was hired to write and direct the Suicide Squad sequel for the studio, discovered that his new gig came with at least one death threat from a user with a Batman avatar. See, there it is. This is part of the problem. These people view Twitter as the real world, and it isn't. This cuts right to the heart of their bull. They think that what they see on Twitter is somehow relevant to the rest of us. Tell me, let me ask all of you who are watching this right now, and you know, you don't have to answer me direct, but just answer to yourself. Do you give two shits what anybody on Twitter says about anything. Does it affect your life? Are you sitting around, dazed and confused and bewildered, by what somebody said on Twitter? Does it really even matter in your day-to-day life? Does it even affect you in any way that matters in any kind of human way? Or is it just, yeah, just like all assholes, they got opinions and then most of them are full of shit? Yeah, that's what I thought too. But to these people, and I'm sure good old Joanna here, I'm sure she's a blue check mark on Twitter because that's how they get their clout. Got to get that blue check mark. They believe that Twitter is a reflection of reality, or if not a reflection of it, the reality itself, and it's not. Someone making a death threat with a Batman, and you notice there was no receipts given here. She says this stuff happened, but she doesn't really give the receipts of it. Oh, he got a death threat. Well, where is it? Oh, I don't. Oh. How do you know he got it? How do we even know it's real? See, that's another thing to do. They just blast the fandom. They blast the consumers as toxic, and then go ahead and don't prove it. You just have to take it as a given. You just got to believe me. Are there assholes online? Yeah, absolutely. Joanne and Drew are a couple of them, for example. But do I think that means everybody in a fandom or everybody in a consumer group or movement is an asshole? No, not even close. And, it's funny, but to me, what this says is that they want to judge those they disagree with by the worst actors that they can find. Anybody, here's a guy. How do you know that he had a Batman avatar because he was a fan of the Snyder Cut? How do you know? How do you know it isn't a sock puppet account? Somebody who created it to make the Zack Snyder, cut fans look bad. That's possible, isn't it? People have done that stuff before. To make a group look bad, let me go on there and fake being one. Hell, maybe the person that did it didn't even really care about them. They put the avatar up there and said all this because they just don't like James Gunn. Maybe that's what it is. Could it be that? Oh, maybe. Oh, well, so it's got nothing to do with Zack Snyder Cut. It's got nothing to do with the people who want the Zack Snyder Cut. It's just some jerk online with an avatar that he put in to make people look bad, or because he wanted to be edgy or whatever. But see, none of that matters to a person like Joanna here, because see, for them, it's all about retaining that control and retaining that access and retaining that status above other people. We're better than you, plebs. We are smarter. We're better. We're more connected. You just need to shut up and know your place. That's their mentality. That is how these people think. And here, this last bit I'm going to give you, this was where I think a lot of the rage that you're seeing from these shills is coming from. Despite the good they have done raising money for a worthy cause, it's hard to ignore the toxic side of this fandom, which has targeted and harassed critics who have dared even tweet criticisms about Snyder's work. I have been told to kill myself on countless occasions by Twitter accounts with either Superman or Batman logos. When fandom becomes identity, every negative review seems like a personal attack. In not only giving over to these fans, but using their language, hashtag release the Snyder Cut, in its official announcement, HBO Max has given legitimacy to all actions of this fandom. Not very heroic of them. You see, there it is. She evidently is one of these that went out there and told people to shut up about the Snyder Cut. You're not going to get it. Schneider's not that great. All these things that they've said to antagonize these people. And then when they got blowback, all of a sudden, oh, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. The only thing they're a victim of is their own sense of entitlement, their own sense of elitism, and their own sense of hubris in being so stupid. And again, once again, notice, she says that she got these death threats or being told to kill herself, but where are the receipts? Any links? Any pull quotes here? Any pictures of the actual tweets showing this? Oh, no, we can't give you receipts because then you could know whether we're telling the truth or not. We don't want you to know what the truth is. Again, it's listen and believe. That's what it is with these types. Listen and believe. They don't care about what the truth is. They don't care about how reality is. They want you to believe what you're told by them. It's all about control. And that's where these guys are going so wrong. They see this thing with the Zack Snyder cut as the first chink in the armor of, we're losing control. We're not the authority anymore. We're not the ones with all the access anymore. We're not the ones who are above the plebs anymore. And they're the one. That's why they're the ones saying it's dangerous, because it's dangerous to their belief that they are better than other people, that they are superior, that they are, the ones deserving of that access, deserving of that consideration. Their belief is what's being endangered by this, not people, not the companies, not the corporations, not the actors. Nobody is in danger except for elitist shills who have grown too big for their britches and are now seeing the first signs that their reign is about to start ending, and it's scaring them to death. And that's when you get stuff like this.